Welcome back to our channel. Let's talk about the jaw-dropping drama heading our way on Monday, August 17th. We have so much to unpack, so let's get right into it. Let's start with the absolute heart-wrencher of the week. Chanel DiMera is officially going into labor. Yes, you heard that right. She is 3 weeks early, which in a normal pregnancy might not be the end of the world, but this is Salem, and Chanel's situation is anything but normal. Considering she has been battling an aggressive form of breast cancer and has already undergone grueling chemotherapy, fans need to brace themselves for some severe complications during this delivery. This is not going to be a smooth ride. Let's be real for a second. The writers have put Chanel and Johnny through absolute hell this year. Think back to all the legacy pregnancies on this show that have ended in tragedy or chaos. We all remember when Sarah Horton lost her baby, or the endless drama surrounding Belle's pregnancies years ago. Salem Hospital is practically a magnet for high-risk traumatic birth. Chanel's body has been ravaged by the chemo, and now she is being forced to deliver baby Quattro early. I am terrified for her. Johnny is going to be completely out of his mind with fear. He loves Chanel with every fiber of his being, and the psychological toll of potentially losing his wife and his child on the same day is just unimaginable. And you know what makes this even more tragic? Johnny is currently having a massive crisis of conscience over his father, E.J. DiMera. Johnny is trying so hard to be a good man, to break the toxic DiMera curse, and yet he is surrounded by his father's dark legacy. While Johnny is praying for a miracle in the maternity ward, EJ is out there destroying lives. I really hope Paulina Price is allowed in that delivery room because Chanel is going to need her mother's strength. But Paulina is already stretched so thin emotionally, which brings us to our next major storyline. Across town, the hits just keep on coming. Kayla Johnson is about to deliver some absolutely soul-crushing news to Abe and Theo Carver. We all know this is about Lexie. The writing has been on the wall ever since Theo and Chad made that horrifying discovery in the DiMera tunnel. Kayla is going to pull them aside, and it is going to be the moment that shatters the Carver family all over again. There may be absolutely nothing Salem Hospital can do to save Lexie this time. Can you believe the sheer cruelty of this storyline? Dr. Rolf's twisted resurrection serum gave Abe and Theo a glimmer of hope, only to snatch it away. And the dark irony here is just sickening. Lexie was originally killed by a brain tumor caused by toxic exposure in those very same DiMera tunnels years ago. Now, E.J. DiMera, acting exactly like his father, Stefano hid her down in those same tunnels to die in secret. It is a massive, horrific callback to the 2012 storyline when Lexie first passed away. Stefano used to treat people like chess pieces, and EJ is doing the exact same thing. Abe's grief is going to be explosive. We already saw him completely lose his mind and rage at EJ, kicking him out of the hospital room. But my biggest fear is what this grief is going to do to Abe's marriage with Paulina. Abe is so blinded by his devastation over Lexie that he is completely shutting Paulina out. Paulina is standing on the sidelines, helpless, watching her husband mourn the love of his life while her own daughter is fighting for her life in the maternity ward. It is almost too much trauma for one family to bear. And let's not forget Theo. He is completely devastated. And rumor has it, he is going to lean heavily on a newly single Stephanie Kyriakis for comfort. A lot of fans think this is just innocent grieving, but I actually think this is a recipe for a massive, messy, romantic disaster. Stephanie is in a terrible headspace right now, and trauma bonding with Theo is going to lead to major trouble. But here's the kicker. While EJ's actions are destroying the Carver family in Salem, the ripple effects of his villainy are being felt all the way in Alamainia. Days of Our Lives spoilers for Monday reveal that Rafe Hernandez is desperately trying to get Gwen Rizchek to cooperate with his investigation, but she absolutely won't budge. Rafe wants to bring down E.J. DiMera once and for all. He is offering Gwen the deal of a lifetime, full immunity, if she just hands over the evidence and testifies against E.J. But Gwen is refusing to play ball. I think this move is a huge mistake on Gwen's part. What is she thinking? Let's dive into Gwen's psychology for a minute, because she is one of the most frustrating characters on this canvas. Gwen has spent her entire life feeling like an outsider, constantly seeking validation from toxic men like Dimitri, and acting out because of her deep-seated daddy issues with Jack Devereaux. She has a history of holding on to leverage until the very last second. Remember how she blackmailed her way through Salem a few years ago? She loves having the upper hand. But playing games with E.J. DiMera is a death sentence. Does she still fear E.J.? Or does she have her own twisted agenda? I genuinely believe Gwen thinks she can outsmart E.J. and use this evidence to extort him for her own financial gain, maybe to save Titan. But E.J. is not someone you negotiate with. He is someone you hide from. Rafe is throwing her a lifeline, and if she doesn't take it, she is going to end up in a body bag. And speaking of Gwen's freedom, she only has it because of an incredibly selfless act by someone we never expect. Javi Hernandez is about to find out the shocking truth. Leo Stark sacrificed himself for Gwen's freedom. That's crazy. Leo Stark, the ultimate selfish gossip hound, actually threw himself on the grenade so his best friend could go free. Leo is now a semi-hostage with Dimitri von Leuschner in Alamainia. Dimitri is absolutely desperate for Leo to fall back in love with him, but Leo is not interested. Dimitri's obsession with Leo is bordering on psychotic. If we look back at the history of the von Leuschner family, they are known for their ruthless, possessive behavior. Dimitri thinks he can just lock Leo up in a compound and force a romantic reunion. It is classic soap opera villainy, completely ignoring the fact that you cannot hold someone captive and expect them to love you. But Dimitri is vastly underestimating Javi Hernandez. Javi has finally had his light bulb moment. He realizes he is still deeply, madly in love with Leo. Javi has officially dumped Gus, and now that he knows Leo is trapped in Alamainia as Dimitri's hostage, all bets are off. Could Javi throw caution to the wind and head to Alamainia to bring Leo back? Absolutely. The Hernandez men are fiercely protective. Look at Rafe. Look at their history. When someone they love is in danger, they do not hesitate. I am so ready for an epic showdown between Javi and Dimitri. A lot of fans think Leo doesn't deserve a hero's rescue after all the chaos he has caused in Salem over the years, but I actually think this is the ultimate redemption arc for Leo. He sacrificed himself for Gwen, proving he actually has a heart. And now, Javi is going to ride in like a knight in shining armor to save him. The dramatic potential here is off the chart. Will Javi get there in time? Will Dimitri snap and do something unthinkable when he realizes Leo will never love him again? We are heading toward a massive climax in Alamainia, and I am entirely here for it. Monday's episode is shaping up to be an absolute roller coaster of emotion. From Chanel fighting for her life in the delivery room, to the tragic end of Lexie Carver, to the high-stakes standoff in Alamainia, the writers are not holding anything back. E.J. DiMera's shadow is looming over every single one of these storylines, and the tension is finally boiling over. I cannot wait to see how this all unfolds. Let me know your thoughts down below. Do you think Chanel and the baby will survive? Will Gwen finally flip on EJ? And are you rooting for Javi to save Leo? Drop your theories in the comments.